passive one. I knew you'd be back before too long. You're here for adventure, of course. Well, who isn't? So, let's see if we can serve one up for you. Any specials on the menu today, Pickle? Pickle, I'm talking to you.
What? Oh, sorry, Master. I was just thinking.
Were you now? Let's see if we can find you a task more suited to your own particular talents, shall we? Go and get the quest equipment ready.
Very well, Master.
Right then, let's get on with it. Enter, stranger. Greetings, challenger. Your name, please.
Gary Horn.
Call your advisors to us, Gary.
Colin, Eric, Eamon.
Welcome. Who guides this dungeoneer?
Colin Murray.
Eric Horn.
Eamon Murphy.
And where do you all come from, Gary?
Whitchurch in Shropshire.
Very well then, let's get you on your way. Come along, Pickle, stop dawdling. It really is too bad of you to keep Gary and his friends waiting like this.
Abject apologies, Master. Here's the equipment.
And not before time. Gary, here is the helmet of justice, which blinds you to the way ahead. Here the knapsack for food to feed your life force. 2 objects may you carry at any one time, and remember, the only way is onward. There is no turning back. Now you must let me guide you for the first and last time. Turn to face the portal, Gary, that's it. Your quest is for the shield. Seek it, find it, and return it to us. Are you ready?
Very much so, Treguard.
Then face the dungeon door, and step boldly forward.
Where am I?
You're standing in what looks like a castle entrance. There's a pit in front of you, and on the other side of it there's a drawbridge.
Is there any way to get it open?
A face is appearing on the drawbridge, Gary.
Oh, lovely. Is it a nice face?
It's crying.
Oh, lackaday. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Oh, how dreadful. It's a human. Now I suppose you want me to open. Of course I can't. Oh, dear.
Blimey.
Just hold on a moment, Gary. Listen, team. You've heard of the Wailing Wall, no doubt. Well, this is a weeping door. It's been locked with lies and can only be opened with the truth. Its name is Dooris, which I think you'll agree suits it well enough. Well, Pickle, aren't you going to tell them the calling?
Of course I am, Master. Listen, boys. All Gary has to do is call out, true and false, false and true. Open up and let us through.
Right, did you hear that, Gal?
Yes, I did. True and false, false and true, open up and let us through.
Oh dear, I hear. Theseus was a Roman, true or false?
Team, I believe Theseus was a Greek?
I think you're right.
Say false then.
False.
Truth accepted. The Aurora Borealis, or Northern Lights, can be seen from Ecuador. True or false?
Well, I don't think you can see the Northern Lights from South America.
I'm not sure. You can see them a bit from places which aren't in the Arctic Circle. I've seen them from my grand's back bedroom.
That's a bit further north than Ecuador, though.
What do you think, Gary?
Well, you might be able to see them if it's not too far south. Ecuador might be in the southern hemisphere, or it might be in the northern hemisphere. I think it's in the southern hemisphere.
It's on the equator, isn't it?
Look, let's just go for false, shall we?
Alright. False.
Truth accepted. The brown rat is a herbivore. True or false?
Rats will eat anything, won't they?
I believe rats are the only rodents that eat meat. Shall I say false?
Yes.
False.
Truth accepted. Oh dear. Oh, this is terrible. Truth will out. Ah yes. truth will out, and so will you.
Thank you very much. I hope you feel better soon.
Well done, team.
Okay, Gary, just walk forwards now. Keep going.
Where am I?
You're in a yellow room with a few windows on the right wall and a fireplace on the wall in front of you. There's also a table to your left with a magician sitting at it.
Oh, look, Master. Hordriss is back from Syria.
So he is, Pickle. And it looks like he might be falling straight back into old habits, if you know what I mean.
I think I should talk to him, don't you, team?
Good idea, Gary. Turn a little to your left and walk forwards.
He's looking up at you.
Stop a second.
Greetings, Gary. How gratifying to learn that you're so keen to make my acquaintance. Please, sit down.
Carry on forwards.
I can see the chair, so I'll just go sit in it.
Good plan.
Splendid. Now then, Gary, please allow me to apprise you of a few things pertinent to your quest, and then to propose a mutually beneficial arrangement.
My pleasure, Hordriss.
Before you do that, Hordriss, could you tell us how things are in Syria? Are Sidris and Motley enjoying their new life together?
Well, they were both enjoying themselves well enough when I last saw them, although they were not exactly what you might call together. On a more personal note, though, I feel that my extended visit achieved all that I had hoped it would, and perhaps a little more with any luck. Now, to business. The Maya world has moved out of dungeon dimensions, and no trace of it now remains on level 3. Wherever it has gone, I'm sure Maldame will appreciate having the place to herself again. And she's welcome to it as far as I'm concerned.
Ah, so you didn't want to take over the Maya world after all?
If I had wanted to take over the Maya world, I would have done so before those Maya men had licked up the last dregs of Ethan's gravy. Conquest was never my goal. But now my immediate goal is to say what I have to say to Gary, and I don't see how I'm ever going to achieve it if that elf keeps interrupting me. My apologies, Hordriss. Put a sock in it, Pickle.
Yes, Master.
As I'm sure you know, Gary, nature abhors a vacuum, and where the Maya world was until recently, Winteria has now reappeared. If your quest is to be successful, you will have to overcome the power of Aesandre. It may be summer for the rest of us at present, but it's always winter for her. Perhaps I might be persuaded to help you in some small way, Gary. If you help me in return.
If I can.
Oh, you can. There is a certain artifact which one desires. A crystal dish. I do not care at present to visit Aesandre and retrieve it in person.
Do you think he means care? Or dare, Master?
Silence! I do not care at present to visit Aesandre in person. Just be hopeful that I do not care enough at present to visit you in person, elf. You would not enjoy the experience. Now then, Gary, if you find the crystal dish for me, I will reward you with magic to use against Winteria's defenses. Do you accept my pact?
Well, team, I really think I should, don't you?
Yeah, do we all agree?
Yes, we'll need magic in level 3.
Yeah, there's no point sitting around discussing it for hours.
I accept your pact, Hordriss.
Excellent. Call me when you have the dish, Gary. My calling name is Malefact. Call 3 times, and I will appear. For now then, Farewell.
He's gone.
Stand up, Gary.
Well, Master, do you think Snapper Jack was still in the Mire world when it moved out of Dungeon Dimensions? Perhaps Maldame won't find herself quite so alone as...
I really don't know, Pickle, and I suggest you put the Mire world out of your mind. It isn't important anymore.
Where do I go now?
Walk forwards. Stop there.
Sidestep right, Gary. And again. Walk forwards.
Where am I?
You're in a blue room with a door on the left wall and a table in front of you. There's a kind of transparent face on the back wall. Its lips seem to be moving, but it's not making any sound.
Walk up to the... Oh, you already are.
That's okay, isn't it?
Yes, fine.
Good. Right, we've got a lemon, which I'm putting in my knapsack. Also a key, a small box or chest, and a kind of little bowl with some sort of implement in it.
That's a pestle and mortar for grinding stuff. We've used them in science, don't you remember?
No, I've never heard of that in my life.
Listen, team. Present here is the Oracle of Confusion. It knows much, but there is no order to its knowledge, as it never rates any one factor as being more important than any other. Gary, to hear its words you must close your eyes very tightly and raise the helmet of justice slightly above your head.
Do it, gal.
Okay.
Change will come as surely as the seasons, and twice as quick. Put the lime in the coconut and mix it all up. Careful analysis is completely unfair, so beautifully green. The first step is French. Use your body and your brain if you want to play the game. Don't open the box. How do I know that? Because it says so on their hats. The tool of the trade is the key to unlock magic. Diplomatic immunity. It's just been revoked. It's just been revoked.
On with the helmet now, Gary. The Oracle
It's
has
just been
descended
revoked.
into drivel. Still, I hope you managed to separate the chaff from the wheat, so to speak.
Did you get the first step down, team?
Yeah, we'll definitely need that later on.
What did she say about the objects? Don't open the box, wasn't it?
And something about the tool of the trade. I bet that means the pestle and mortar.
She mentioned the key, too.
No, I don't think she did. I think she said the key to magic is the tool of the trade.
So I guess I shouldn't take the normal key then, if the real key is the pestle and porter.
Pestle and mortar, Gary.
Maybe we should take the normal key too, because she said don't open the box.
But only don't open it, team.
Pickle, shh.
So I suppose I can take the box, even though she said don't open the box.
Yeah, okay then. Agreed, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's go.
Okay, so I've taken the box and the pistol, the bowl thing with the thingy in it.
Turn to your left then. Walk forwards. Keep going as you are.
Where am I?
You're outdoors.
Oh, is it a nice place?
It's very nice. Lovely houses, a few trees back there.
Ah, it's Wolfenden, team. There's always a friendly face to be found in these parts. Well, usually.
There's a man walking on, wheeling a trolley, Gary.
Oh, right. Hello, I wonder if I could, talk to you about my quest.
What? Oh, well, first things first, Hello, I'm Rothberry the apothecary, purveyor of medicines and salves and sundry goods and knickknacks. What's your name?
My name is Gary.
Hello, Gary. And, what do you want to talk to me about, lovey?
What's he got on his trolley, Gary?
Well, there are lots of things on the trolley. We have a nice tabard with a picture of a cloud on it, and lots of little jars and things, and I can see a small wooden cabinet.
Yes, well, if you do see anything you like, Gary, what have you got for me, Some of these things cost me an awful lot of money, you know. An awful lot of money.
You'd better offer him something, gal.
I'm afraid I haven't got any money, Rothberry. Can I interest you in a wooden box, or this nice messel and postle and... what is it, Colin?
Pestle and mortar.
Yes, well, I have absolutely no interest in wooden boxes, Gary. No good at all, I'm afraid.
Oh.
But I might be interested in a good sturdy pestle and mortar. The one I've got at the moment is a bit flimsy, and an apothecary can never grind herbs too small, you know.
Well, it's very heavy.
Yes, well, let's have a look at it, love.
Let him have a look, Gary.
With his hands?
Yes.
What about my hands, love?
My gran always used to say, you look with your eyes, not with your hands.
Yes, well, that was to stop you fiddling with things, wasn't it?
I suppose it was.
Yes, all right, well, I think I'd like to take this pestle mortar off your hands, Gary. What do you want for it?
Team?
Isn't there anything on the trolley we might need, Gary?
Well...
That oracle thing said something about swapping it for magic, didn't she?
Oh yes. Ask him about spells, Gary.
Have you got any spells I might need?
Well, let me think. I believe I do have a couple of spells in stock. Yes, now, I got one called Deactivate, which will stop machinery and so forth, and one called Cultivate, which is quite handy for growing a good seed crop.
Well, team, I never was much of a gardener. Deactivate sounds more useful.
I agree, Gal.
Same here.
Go for it then, Gary.
I'll take Deactivate, please.
Ah, yes, excellent. Well then, it's yours. Will that be your love?
Do you have any information?
Well, let's see. I could probably give you some information about the melting point of some metals.
About my quest.
Better just leave it, Gary.
Oh, right, okay then. Well, thank you very much for the spell, and I hope the postle and, will prove,
Turn right, Gary.
successful.
Oh, my pleasure, love. Bye now.
Onwards, team, onwards.
Okay, Gary, just walk forward.
Where am I?
You're on a narrow bridge over a kind of crevasse. There's nothing there, so I think you should just cross to the other side as quickly as possible.
Okay. What's going on, team?
There's someone, or something, coming across the bridge towards you.
Beware the mechanical threat of the mindless automaton, boys.
Mechanical? That means the spell can stop it.
Spell casting. Deactivate.
What happened?
Well, the robot just stopped working and toppled off the bridge.
Wish I could have seen that.
Hopefully the automaton won't be bothering Dungeoneers anymore, Master. Surely he'll be smashed to pieces in the ravine.
If he hits the side, I'm sure he will be. But he may well stay in one piece if he keeps a straight course. You see, I'm not convinced that this chasm has a bottom, as such. Still, you're right about one thing, Pickle. The automaton won't be causing us any more trouble. Onwards now, team.
Just keep walking forwards in a straight line, Gal.
Where am I?
You're in a purple stone room.
Purple stone.
There's a well in the middle, and a man is sitting on the steps. He looks quite fierce.
Right, I'd better be careful then. Shall I go up to him?
No need, Gal. He's coming towards you.
Hold up, hold up. Who goes there? No one gets past when Fatilla the Honey's on guard. What's your name then?
Gary, is there nothing I might say to persuade you to, let me get in the well?
Well, have you got anything I might like then, eh? If you was to distract me with something nice and shiny.
He wants you to slip something into his hand, Gary. So give him the box, maybe?
It seems to be all you've got, team.
There's probably something nasty inside, as we weren't supposed to open it. Go for it, Gal.
Right, here you are. I, hope you like it.
Whoa, what's this? Is it food?
It's a nice surprise for you.
Duh, I don't like surprises. Are you sure you ain't got no gold or jewels, eh?
Gary, tell him it's something you'll like.
It's something really nice, honestly. You'll like it.
What is it then?
It's a very nice...
All right then. I'll open it just to shut you up. God, blimey.
This had better work after all that.
Whoa, it's a little person. I could eat it for my first course, couldn't I?
Oh!
A fairy's flown out the box, Gary.
Here! No disgusting barbarian is going to eat me! I'll teach you not to say things like that!
Whoa! Ooh! Ow! Ooh, you nasty little...
He's run off now, Gary.
What happened?
She was biting him or something.
Eat me indeed! Pixel don't like nasty, rude, ugly, great people like that. So what about you, Dungeoneer? Do you want to eat me then?
No, I'd like to be friends.
Pixel don't make friends with human beings, especially human beings who wake me up. You made him open my box, didn't you? So why shouldn't I give you a nip or two?
Well, I'd be very grateful if you didn't.
Thank you for saving you, Gary.
And I'm very, very grateful to you for saving me from the guard. You're right, he really is quite,
All right, no need to grovel. Tell you what, I'll leave you be if you turn the box right ways up for me.
The guard dropped the box by the well, Gary. Walk forwards.
Oh, I can see it.
Turn it over then. There now. That was the least you could do. But anyway, you did it, so here's a clue. The second step is German. Got that? Well, you'd better have, because I'm not saying it again. Bye. Close the box then.
Well done, team.
Yes, well done indeed. Now, level 2 beckons.
Is there something on the well, Gary?
Let's see. Yes, it's a jam tart. Looks delicious.
Okay, Gary, just put it in your knapsack and then climb into the well.
Where am I?
Well, you're outside again. It looks like you're in a forest clearing. There's a black door just standing behind a tree, and then in front of you there's a table.
Ah, we're back in the Greenwood. This is a much healthier environment for adventuring than a dank old dungeon.
I don't know so much, Pickle. The forest is full of dangers, just as the dungeon is. So, team, you'd better take this chance to equip yourselves to deal with some of them.
What's on the table, Gary?
There's a scroll, a spyglass, a long stick with 2 prongs, a wreath of white flowers, and a wooden thing that I don't know what it is. It looks like some kind of giant spool or something.
A confusing array indeed, team.
We'd better get ourselves some clues then. Pick up the spyglass, Gary.
Okay. Can you see anything?
Yeah, we could see a kind of throne room with icicles hanging from the ceiling. And there's a woman in blue pacing around.
That's Aesandre, Master.
I know, Pickle.
Someone else has just come into the room. It looks like an abominable snowman to me.
Wish I could see this stuff.
You wanted to be the dungeoneer, mate?
So, here you are at last. You certainly took your time answering my summons.
Apologies, mistress.
What were you doing?
Carrying out your earlier orders, mistress. The ones about those prisoners and the electric eels.
That took you all morning? You really are the slowest snowman I've ever created. I'm seriously starting to wonder whether you turned out mentally deficient. Still, at least you can follow orders. You're much better than that stupid snowman I built with my sister when we were children. He had an annoyingly stubborn streak.
My life is but to follow your orders, mistress. What else would I do?
What indeed? After all, only the 2 of us are here in this kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen.
You are, mistress.
And don't you forget it. Now, to matters of the most serious. Earlier I sensed a great upheaval in my realm. I set out immediately to locate its source, and do you know what I found?
No, mistress.
Of course you don't. I haven't told you yet. It was a rhetorical question.
Oh, I see. You're very clever, mistress. I wouldn't know what one of those was, even if I found one myself.
Silence, cretin! I used my powers to see far across the Lake of Wisps to the very borders of Winteria, and what do you think I saw? No, don't answer that, I'll tell you. I saw the realm of Knightmare snaking its sinewy limbs into my kingdom yet again.
Oh no, mistress.
Oh yes, unfortunately. That means those horrible, sweaty little dungeoneers will be trying to invade us with their adolescent pungency and their intolerable levels of body heat. This is my least favourite time of year as it is Calliban, and I don't need those adventuring storage heaters on legs giving me more problems.
Are you sure they'll be able to get here, mistress? The last I heard, the only way to leave the 2nd level of the Knightmare dungeon was to cross the Great Ocean, and that doesn't touch any land near Winteria.
Things change, Calliban, especially where that accursed dungeon is concerned. No, the dungeoneers will find little trouble in reaching Winteria. All they'll have to do is cross the Lake of Wisps, which certainly does not require the use of a sea-going vessel, and they'll be upon us. That cannot be allowed to happen.
What shall we do then, mistress?
I have a surprise in store for Treguard of Dunshelm and his precious dungeon. A surprise that will leave any and all potential intruders out in the cold. Fetch me a sprig of gravewort and my anode of power. I must begin the spell at once.
Yes, mistress.
Okay, put the spyglass down.
Well, Master, it looks like Aesandre's trying to freeze the dungeon again.
Yes, she does seem to have something of a one-track mind, doesn't she? Still, perhaps Gary and his friends will be able to put a stop to her plans before they come to fruition. In fact, I rather suspect that they'll have to if they're going to win this particular game. So, team, make your choice carefully but quickly now.
Can you read the scroll, Gal?
Okay then, let's see. It says, the fid is for untying stubborn knots. Useful for wet rope, happy sailing.
Right, well, that doesn't seem fantastically helpful on the face of it.
Fid is probably that thing that is in flowers or a stick. What exactly does it look like, Gal? Could it be used for untying knots?
Well, yes, it's a massive chunk of wood that tapers into a sharp point, so if we were going on a big ship, perhaps we could give it to the captain or someone? But didn't that sorcerer say we wouldn't need a ship?
Yeah, she did say that.
But we have to cross a lake, don't we?
Yeah, but not on a big ship. I think it's telling us not to take it, so we should take the other two objects.
What are they again, Gary?
A double-pronged stick and some white flowers. Oh, hang on, there's a little label tied to the flowers. It says, garlic. Garlic flowers. Didn't she also say something about wanting a herb?
Yes, but it wasn't garlic. I can't see a connection, but I think we need to take it anyway. And the stick.
Could the stick be a divining rod?
Ah, good thinking, Colin.
Take the garlic and the stick then, Gal.
Okay, got them. These flowers smell lovely, by the way.
A bit strong, I would have thought.
Walk around the table, Gary. Okay, now walk forward. There, right a bit. And keep going forwards.
Where am I?
You're in another clearing with a portal between two trees. There's nothing else. Oh, a man has just walked onto the screen.
It's that guard from the Wellway.
Whoa, there you are. Yeah, I've been looking for you. You played a horrible trick on poor old Fatilla, didn't you, eh? Setting that nasty little fairy on me like that. And you pinched my pudding.
Pinched his pudding?
Guess he means that German tart.
For what it's worth, I think Pickle must be a pixie rather than a fairy.
Whoa, cork it. You played a horrible trick on me, so now I'm going to play a horrible trick on you. First, I'm going to blip you, then I'm going to blop you.
I don't think you can really call that a trick as such.
Alright, so it's not a trick, but it definitely is horrible. Just hold very still.
Gary, seeing as he has the brains of a wombat, you might try telling him you're a very powerful wizard or something like that.
I'm a very powerful necromancer, and if you lay one finger on me...
You ain't no necro wizard person. You're a horny little dunga thingy in a moo cow helmet. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I know I'm going to shut that smart mouth of yours forever. Whoa.
Team, could I have a bit of help, please?
Well, not from us, but someone else has just come in, and he's going up to the guard.
It's Pickle!
Really? Oh, excellent.
Oh, yeah, he's not here anymore. Didn't even notice him leave.
Excuse me.
What? Whoa, what's going on? Where did you spring from? Here, hang on a minute, I know you. Yeah, I met you once in the Forest of Dun. You told me... What did you tell me? I can't remember.
I gave you a very useful piece of advice that saved your life. And now I'm going to give you another one.
Ooh, thank you very much. Here, hang on. You're not one of them evil fairies what tries to lead innocent travellers to their doom, are you?
Nothing could be further from the truth. Now listen carefully, you need to hear this. You're about to make a very dangerous mistake.
I do. I am. Whoa, alright then. Go ahead, Big Ears.
Don't you realise that you almost attacked a member of the personal guard of the Elf King just now? Not a good idea at all, if you ask me.
Fool the other one. He ain't no elf. He's a dunga thingy in a moo cow helmet.
Then how do you explain the fact that he's carrying the two symbols of the Elf King's household?
Is he?
Yes, he is. See, there is the Stick of Truth, which symbolises the close relationship between our people and the Greenwood. And look, he also carries a white garland of malapith, just like the one the Elf King himself always wears.
Oh yeah. Yes, so he does. Well, I suppose I'd better not attack him then. Yeah, okay. I'll be off. Bye.
Pickle! You know what I'm going to say. Either return at once or stay out of this adventure.
Well, given that choice, Master, I think I'll go for the latter.
The latter? What exactly are you trying to say?
I'm saying I'd like to go home now. I've been thinking about it for a while, and, well, what with Hordriss threatening to come and do things to me, and Aesandre trying to freeze us all to death, I think I'm better off out of it. I'll find somewhere warm and sunny to spend the rest of the summer before the castle gets even colder than it is already. Good luck, Gary. I hope you win. Bye.
Bye, Pickle. Thanks a lot for the save.
Oh. Well, I didn't think he'd really... Still, I suppose that's that. Press onwards now, team.
Perhaps you should have been nicer to him if you wanted him to stay.
I didn't want him to stay. I just didn't think he'd leave like that. Oh, just get on with your adventure, boys.
Sidestep right, Gary. A bit more. Walk forward.
Where am I?
You're coming up to a big pit, so stop walking. And there's a sad face and a banana.
A sad face and a banana?
The banana's just to your right, Gal. Can you see it?
Yeah, I'll put it in my knapsack. What about the sad face?
It looks like that weeping door thing from before.
Yes, it's another door monster, team. This one is called Doorkis. To entice him to speak, you'll have to remember the calling. Let's just hope you can do it without Pickle here to remind you.
True and false, false and true,
Open up and let us through.
Open up and let us through.
No weariness or despair or the bitter pill of self-delusion. Truth will open, truth will out. The oldest part of the Tower of London is the White Tower. True or false?
I think that's true. It's the bit William the Conqueror built.
Go for it then, Gary.
True.
Truth accepted. There are 20 possible opening moves in a game of chess. True or false?
It seems like a lot. I don't think there are that many.
Well, what can you open with? 8 pawns, so that's 8 moves. No, it's 16 moves, because you can take them either 1 or 2 forward.
Only 4 more to find if it's true then. What about the knights? You can move either of your knights on the first move, so that makes 18 moves in total.
That's not as many as 20 then.
Hang on. The knights have 3 possible squares they can move to from their start positions. So I think there are actually 22 opening moves.
Has to be false then, one way or the other.
No, I think it's true. One of the knight's 3 possible squares would have a pawn standing on it at the start of the game, so there are 20 possible moves. 16 from the pawns and 4 in total from the 2 knights.
Are you sure about that, Eric?
I'm going to trust you on this one, bro. True.
Truth accepted.
Yes!
Anne of Austria, Queen Consort of France from 1615 to 1643, was Spanish. True or false?
What the actual hell?
It's very likely that the Queen of France could be Spanish, because the European royal families liked to intermarry in those days. But why would she be called Anne of Austria if she was Spanish?
Or if she was French, for that matter.
She could have been Austrian and married the King of France. Shall I say false anyway?
No, I think you should say true.
Are you serious, Eric?
Yes, it sounds so impossible that I think it must be true.
Well, you were right before, so true.
Ah, truth accepted.
I don't believe it.
Oh dear me. Truth will open, truth will out.
Well done, boys. Press on quickly now.
Walk forwards, Gary. Carry on like that.
Where am I?
You're in another woody glade, and there's a nun hiding behind a tree stump.
There's a what?
Honest, Skull, it's true. Oh, there's a portal a little way off, and some goblins just popped out of it.
The nun's shooting at them with a crossbow.
This is weird.
Silence! For the sake of God, boy, do you want me to miss my aim?
No, I'm very sorry. I'm on a quest, you see, and if I can be of any help to you...
What help could you possibly be to me?
Well, I'd like to. If there's anything the goblins, are they, bothering you at all?
Oh, do stop wittering. There, that seems to have seen them off. For now, at least. It really is most inconvenient having to use valuable weapons on vermin like that. Perhaps this wasn't the best place to come vampire hunting after all. Well, what about you, boy? What are you doing here?
I'm a dungeoneer on the quest for the shield. My name is Gary, by the way.
Is that right? Well, in that case, Gary, I'm not in totally the wrong place after all. I've been expecting you. My name is Sister Lucienne, and I have something that you need.
Well, that's wonderful. I'd love to take it off your hands if
you can persuade me to part with it. Well, Gary, what do you have in exchange for my little something?
Well, I've got a stick and some flowers.
Only Gary could say that with confidence.
The garlic flowers, remember? Ask if she can use them for a vampire hunting.
Oh, yes, of course. Actually, sister, these are garlic flowers. I don't know if they'd be any use to you.
You have been lucky this time, Gary. So many people think it's cloves of garlic that will keep vampires at bay. But if they could be bothered to pick up a book every now and again, they would know that it is the flowers the fiends despise. Do you read at all, Gary?
A bit. At the moment I'm reading...
Of course, I recommend the good book above all others, but that is neither here nor there. Give me the garlic, Gary, and I shall give you what you need.
Hand it over then, Gal.
All right. Here you are, sister.
Thank you, Gary. And here is my gift to you.
She's taking some out of her sleeve, Gal. What is it?
Whoa, it's a bar of gold.
For a few stinky flowers, that's generous.
Gold is not true riches, Gary. Not to me, anyway. My mind is on higher things. But you need this. Silver would do just as well, mind you. But in my line of work there is often a use for the evil thing for which Judas Iscariot betrayed our Lord.
Right, well, thank you very much. Happy hunting?
Okay, Gary, turn around and start walking.
Oh, and Gary! Gary! Gary!
Stop, Gal, and turn back to face her.
I also have instructions to tell you that the third step is Spanish. It means nothing to me, but apparently you'll need to know that. I do dislike the Spanish, don't you? They never will let go of the old religion.
I hadn't really thought about it.
How absolutely typical.
Well, team, I think you really have got all you can now out of the good sister. I should get on your way before those goblins start coming back.
Okay, Gal, turn around again and keep walking.
Where am I?
You're in a room with some arched windows, and there's a massive pit in front of you where we can see stars, so do not move.
Whatever you say, Cole.
Across the pit, there's a chair and what looks like a magic symbol.
Can you see a skull in front of you?
Yes. Can I take a step towards it?
Well, just shuffle.
Step would be fine.
Too late, Cole. I've shuffled now. Okay. It says, say hello.
Right then, Gal. Try saying hello.
Hello?
Not quite right, boys, was it? There are steps to be taken here.
Steps, okay. We've got French, German, and Spanish.
Shall I try saying hello in the different languages?
If you can, Gal.
Yeah, go for it.
French first, right?
Yes.
Bonjour.
Well done, Gary. A stone stab has appeared in front of you, and it looks like 2 more will reach the magic symbol.
Oh, good.
German, Gary.
Guten Tag.
We'd better get him walking on them, hadn't we?
We might as well do the last step first. If you see what I mean. It's Spanish, Gal.
But I've never done Spanish.
None of us have. They don't do it at our school.
But you guys watch TV, don't you? It's hola.
Oh yeah, go on then, Gary.
Hola.
Okay, Gal. We've got a path to the symbol now, so just walk forwards.
And be careful not to fall off either side.
Shall I shuffle again?
No, just walk slowly, Gary. Merlin's appeared on the throne.
Decent. Hello, Merlin.
Greetings, Gary. Congratulations on surviving this far into the dungeon. If you are to survive any further, however, you and your friends will have to prove to me that you really deserve a chance to become the stuff of legend. After all, style over substance can only ever take you so far. So let's see how much substance you've really got. First, though, some refreshment. Spellcasting. V. I. M.
Thanks, that's really perked me up.
Has it now? We shall see. In Swiss folklore, William Tell fired a shot from his crossbow that found its mark just above the head of his own son. But what did the bolt pierce?
I remember that story. I think it was a piece of fruit.
Yeah, an apple.
An apple.
Truth accepted. What was the Siege Perilous?
The Siege Perilous?
Yes. What is it?
It's a phrase that I don't know what it means.
Okay, Gary, let's just think a minute. We know what perilous means, so we're halfway there.
Tell him it's a dangerous something.
A dangerous what? I have no ideas whatsoever, team.
Well, we know what a siege is too, really.
Yeah, it's when your castle gets surrounded by enemies and they just sit there for years until you're dead.
I'd imagine that all sieges are dangerous then.
Colin did actually hit on the answer just now, boys. Don't help them too much, Treguard, or I won't give them any magic even if they do work it out. Apologies, Merlin.
What did you say, Cole?
I said your castle gets surrounded by enemies and they just stay there.
You said sit, actually, not stay.
Ah?
So the siege actually means sit, or seat, perhaps. A dangerous seat.
Or chair, maybe?
The Siege Perilous was a dangerous seat or chair.
Yes, it was. But where? Come on, Merlin, you're being very harsh today. That's my prerogative, Treguard. Think carefully, boys. Do you know a famous place or thing that had a lot of seats?
Well, you find seats at a table, usually.
A famous table. The Round Table.
It was at the Round Table, Merlin.
Truth accepted. The most perfect of all knights, Sir Galahad, was destined to sit there, and others who tried it soon wished that they hadn't. Now then, Gary, as you've shown me that there is some substance to you after all, I'm gifting you a small spell called Candle. When you need to shed some light on the subject, you'll find that this magic will show you the way to go. Farewell!
Right, Merlin's gone now.
Yes, I thought he had. Thanks for helping us out there, Treguard. It's almost as good as having Pickle around.
Just get on with your quest, Gary.
Sidestep left, gal. Again. And again. Walk forwards.
Where am I?
You're back outside, Gary. There aren't any random doors standing around this time, but there's a kind of cliff face or something in front of you with a wooden signboard stuck in the ground next to it.
Is there anything written on the sign?
Yeah, it says B-A-B-Y...
Baby.
I haven't finished yet, bro. The next bit is L-O-N, and then the word walk is written after it.
Baby Lon. Wonder what that means.
It's Babylon, I think.
Yeah, like the Hanging Gardens of.
Babylon walk. But there's nowhere to walk.
Ah, Babylon. Doesn't that remind you of an old nursery rhyme, team? It does me.
No.
No.
Afraid not.
You mean like ride a cock horse to Babylon Walk or something?
It really is amazing the things young people don't know nowadays.
Sorry, Treguard. None of us ever got further than Little Bo Peep.
Little Boy Blue blowing his own horn was where I drew the line.
Yes, well apparently it was 70 miles to Babylon, and the only way to get there was with heels that were nimble and light, and by finding the path with... Well, do I really have to spell it out for you boys?
Can we find the way with the stick, do you reckon?
No, I think it's the spell he's talking about.
Why would we need to cast that here? It's not even dark.
Perhaps it'll show us something that's hidden.
Yeah, exactly. Spellcasting. C-A-N-D-L-E.
There's a giant candle floating in the air above you now, Gary, and a portal has appeared in the rock next to the sign.
Oh, it was always there, Eamon, but it can't be seen or used except by candlelight. If your heels be nimble and light.
You can get there by candlelight. I think I have heard of that, actually.
Okay, walk forwards, Gary. Quickly, or the spell might run out.
Where am I?
You're in a small stone room, maybe a cave, with no exits. It's a total dead end.
It looks that way, Colin, doesn't it? But even an empty cave is worth exploring, if you have the means to do so.
Well, we got the stick, and Colin thought earlier that it might be a divining rod.
Yeah, that's why I suggested it in the last room with no exits.
Okay, Gary, do you want to try waving the stick around?
I'd love to, Eamon. How do I do it? Prongs outwards?
No, the prongs are the handles.
One prong in each hand, Gal, and just wave it around the room.
Shall I move about a bit?
An excellent suggestion, Gary.
And keep waving it around.
Don't you worry, Eric, I will.
Okay, Gary, something has just dropped into the room. I'm not sure what it is. Turn right, please, and walk forward slowly until you can see it.
You can stop waving the stick now, Gal.
Just drop it, Gary.
I can see what you found, team. It's a bottle.
Go and pick it up, then. Can you open it at all?
Yes, I think so. There's a stopper.
Yank it out, then.
Oh boy, you make big mistake, whoever you are. If you let me out yesterday, I would have given you a wish. But now I've been in that thing so long, I have vowed to kill whoever...
Majida?
Oh, Treguard. What a nice surprise. Where are you?
Where I always am, Majida. And you are in the dungeon.
Huh, that figures.
What on earth were you doing in another bottle?
What you think I do in bottle? Nothing. It's very cramped in there.
I don't suppose you'd care to tell me how you let yourself become trapped again.
Hey, I am Genie. It happens. Now stop slowing up the quest. This is Dungeoneer, yes? I am glad you are using Helmet of Justice again. I changed my mind about the other one.
I'm very glad to hear it. Well, Majida, when I released you from a bottle, you didn't threaten to kill me or offer me a wish. Were you in there for more than a week this time?
Oh, yes, much more.
And now I suppose you're going to say something like 2.5 weeks.
No, 6 months. I know what's been happening here the past few years. You are back with nervous elf-like person with big ears, yes?
I was. I'm not now. Things change, Majida.
Oh? Did he leave in last 6 months?
He did leave sometime in the last 6 months, yes.
Oh, well. Okay, enough chit-chat. What's your name, Dungeoneer?
Gary. And I'd be very grateful if you could reconsider your,
Don't make any long speeches. It could take hours. I won't kill you, Gary.
Thank you very much. That's very kind.
Ah, well, I am Genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way. I like Dungeoneers, Gary. You are not girl, but I help you anyway. I give you 1 wish. So, what you need?
Right, team. What do we need? I suppose some people might say they wish to conquer the dungeon.
You know better than that, Gal.
Conquer dungeon is more than 1 wish, you know. There is a long way to go. You know, Gary, these remind me of 1 or 2 little stories from my country. You probably never hear. It's not much of a cave of wonders to find Genie in, though, is it?
Well, I guess we need to wish to get out.
Then we could end up anywhere. Where do we need to get to?
I am waiting.
Wait, I know. The lake that we don't need the ship for. What was the name of it again?
Let's have a look. It was the Lake of Wisps. Gary, wish you were at the Lake of Wisps.
No need, Gary, I can't hear. Okay then. Lake of Wisps, here we come!
Where am I?
We're not sure yet, Gary. There's smoke everywhere.
But presumably you're at the Lake of Wisps.
The smoke's clearing now, gal.
Here I am, Majida. Are we at the Lake of Wisps?
Of course we are. What kind of genie do you think I am?
I'm sorry,
Okay, Gary, you're standing by a lake, obviously, and there's a man in a boat wearing a hood that covers his face.
Deep is the Lake of Wisps and cold. The fare for crossing is silver or gold.
Ha! We just appeared in front of him and smoked the place out. Didn't he notice?
He's obviously very devoted to his job.
You are a smart bottom, aren't you, Gary? Well, I hope you win the game anyway. For now, I just hope you have his fare. Bye!
She's disappeared now, Gary. Can you see the boat?
I can see the boat, Eric.
Go up to it then, and offer the gold to the boatman.
Okay, hello. I'd like to give you this gold in exchange for a trip across the lake.
In you get then, gal.
Okay.
Right, Gary, you're rowing across the lake now.
How lovely. It's a very pretty lake, isn't it, Boatman? Do you have any information for me about my quest? Do you enjoy your job?
I guess he's not dignifying that with an answer, gal.
This is a lovely boat ride, by the way.
Okay, Gary, he's pulling into a jetty.
And he's beckoning you out.
He seems very keen to get rid of you.
Well, it's not the first time.
Stand up, Gary, and step out of the boat.
On your left.
This way?
Yes.
Thank you very much for the ride, Boatman. It was most enjoyable.
He's just ignoring you now, gal.
Walk forwards.
Where am I?
You're standing in what looks like a field at the bottom of a hill, and everything's covered in a thick layer of snow. There's a tree stump to your right with some objects on it, and beyond that there's a portal.
Welcome to Winteria, boys. Gary, I hope you're wearing your thermals, because conditions are only going to get colder from here on in. Remember, Aesandre does not want you here, and I have no doubt that she will make her feelings all too apparent if you should happen to come across her. And you'll have to come across her if you're going to stop her from casting that spell, and then find your way through to the shield. So, equip yourselves.
Turn slightly right, Gary. Walk forwards. What's on the tree stump?
There's a spyglass, a fish, and 4 bottles of coloured liquid. I presume they're all potions.
Are they labelled?
Yes, we've got summer, that one's orange. Winter, that's a blue one. We also have vampire, that's black. And then finally there's a white one called wraith.
Crikey!
First things first, boys. Gary, protect your life force before you do anything else.
Oh, crumbs, yeah, we mustn't forget about that. Okay, I'm taking the fish.
I don't expect we need the winter potion. It's winter here already.
Yeah, probably not. We'd better use the spyglass before we make any decisions, though.
I'm picking it up now.
Sprinkle it all around the anode. Carefully, you great lummox. Yes, that will do nicely. The spell is almost ready.
Yes, mistress. How exciting!
This is a red letter day, Calliban. The day when Winteria's boundaries reach out to envelop the entire realm of Knightmare, and perhaps, eventually, the lands beyond. Who knows how much territory will eventually fall under my rule.
Do we really need all that extra space, mistress? It's not like there isn't plenty of room for the 2 of us in Winteria already.
Well, we can get hold of some more prisoners for you to chastise, and I'll build you an army of snow warriors to command. General Calliban. Do you like the sound of that?
Very much, mistress.
Good. Still, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First I shall freeze all levels of the dungeon, and those zones which contain them. And we must hurry before any repulsive dungeoneers get anywhere near this fortress. If I'm exposed to high levels of heat before the spell is completed, the magic will not work and the dungeon will not be frozen. My power would be broken, possibly for all time. I'm putting everything I've got into this spell. But the rewards are certainly worth the risk.
Yes, mistress. If you're freezing all the zones which contain parts of the dungeon, doesn't that mean Winteria will be affected too?
Of course. The temperature will plummet to new depths of icy frigidity. Paradise.
But surely it's cold enough down here already, mistress.
How can you say that? You're a snowman.
Yes, but even snowmen have their limits.
Well, I do not. I shall unleash the full extent of my powers and let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
Okay, put it down.
Team, I think we should definitely take the summer potion.
Yeah, it sounds like we can stop Aesandre with it.
So, if we're rejecting winter, what does that leave us with? Vampire and Wraith?
They're both spooky monsters. Which one should we go for?
Vampire sounds much nastier than Wraith. I mean, if I drink it, I'll probably turn into a vampire, and I don't want Sister Lucienne to come and slay me.
Good call, bro.
Wraith might be useful, mightn't it?
Yeah, it'll probably turn her into a ghost for a while.
That could get me out of a tight spot.
Okay, take Summer and Wraith then.
Well chosen, boys. Get Gary on his way quickly now.
Walk around the stump, gal. Good, and just walk straight forward from there.
Where am I?
You're in a round blue room with a big archway on your right. There's a table in the middle of the room with something on it.
Walk forwards, Gary. Can you tell us what it is?
Certainly. It's a big round plate made of glass.
Or could it be a big round dish made of crystal?
Could be, bro.
There's a reward for that object, I believe.
Oh, right, I see. It's Hordriss's crystal dish. Sorry, I was a bit slow on the uptake there.
Nobody's perfect, Gary.
Malefact, malefact, malefact.
Well, that certainly took you long enough, Gary. Still, a bargain is a bargain. Give me the dish.
Here you go, Hordriss.
Thank you. Yes, this is most satisfactory. With this dish, I can finally... But that's none of your business, really, is it?
You can tell me if you want to.
But I don't want to, Gary.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm quite sure. However, despite your impertinence, I shall still reward you as I promised. The spell I gift you now is called Flight. It will lend wings to your feet when you have need of them. Also, I gift you a return spell, just in case you do manage to reach the Shield of Justice in one piece, and you find you need a way back. Good luck.
Right, he's gone, so...
Yes, onwards now, team.
Turn 90 degrees right, Gary. Walk forwards.
Where am I?
You're in another purple room, and there's icicles all around. There's a table to your right, but there's nothing on it. And in front of you there's a massive wooden door, and two skulls flying back and forth. They keep coming from each side and meeting in the middle.
So we don't need to investigate the table?
No, gal, there's definitely nothing on there.
Yes, boys, I think that your priority here must be to get out and away from this dangerous haunting.
Can you take me through the door then?
Not really, mate. It's very big and it looks very heavy, and there's ice all around the edge.
It's on the handle as well.
It's frozen shut, Gary.
So what should I do, team? It doesn't sound like flight would do me any good here. It's a bit early to cast return.
You need to drink the Wraith potion, gal.
Oh yeah, then he can face through the door.
Yeah, you're right, guys. Go for it, gal.
Alright, team, I'm drinking the potion now.
You're a ghost now, Gary.
Yes, I feel most peculiar, Colin. What do I look like?
Just sort of white and see-through.
The door's right in front of you, Gary, so just float forwards.
Hold on a sec, gal. Do we need to try and dodge the skulls?
They'll just pass through them in that state, won't they?
But they're ghosts as well, though.
I should exercise caution, team, but do so quickly. This magic may not last.
Okay, Gary, go forwards until I say stop. Stop. Alright, now run.
Where am I?
Keep still, Gary, because you're in a very narrow strip of path, and there's not much in front of you. It's made of blue brick, and it's sort of half an arch, so maybe it used to be a bridge? In the background, it looks like icy rocks and caves.
And there's icicles hanging off the arch, gal.
Why does that not surprise me?
You're quite right, Colin. This precarious structure did indeed used to be a bridge. It's been destroyed a few times, in fact, but this time it doesn't seem to have put itself back together again. How unfortunate.
Okay, so do you reckon I should cast the flight spell?
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Okay, Gary, are you ready to go flying?
Yes, I've been looking forward to it.
Spell casting. FLIGHT. Whoa, Gary!
Hey.
How was that, gal?
Most enjoyable.
Consider your life force, team.
Okay, Gary. You're just on the other side of the bridge. It's a mirror image, so you can keep walking.
Go in a dead straight line, Gary.
Can I shuffle?
If you must.
Where am I?
Okay, you're standing on a sort of tile at the edge of a pit, and there's another tile next to you with 4 words written on it. In front of that tile, there are 3 other tiles, but they're all blank at the moment. You're in line with a door on the other side of the pit. It looks like we'll have to find a way to make 3 more tiles appear so you can reach the door.
Blimey, that sounds complicated.
It's probably not as complicated as it seems.
Yeah, probably. What's written on the tile next to me?
4 words in a column. Gravy, track, ghost, and night.
Listen carefully, boys. Here is where you must find the common word. What do I mean by the common word? Well, I mean the one word that can be used either before or after each of the words on the tile to create a new word or expression. Once you've worked out what it is, get Gary to call it out, good and loud. But you must do it quickly. Your life force will not last forever.
I see. It's like Fourth Boyard.
Yeah, the old one.
What are the words again? Gravy, track, ghost, and...
Night.
It's got to be train then. Gravy train, train track, ghost train, night train.
Good one, mate. Shout it out.
Train.
Right, a tile's appeared in front of you, and the tile next to that has now got 4 more words written on it.
Oh, we have to do loads of them.
3 more anyway. Take a large step forward, Gary. There's a slight gap between the tiles, but yes, that's perfect. Okay, the next group of words is compartment, box, puppet, and rubber.
What about finger? Finger puppet? Fox? Finger?
That's not a thing, Cole.
Shadow puppet. Shadow compartment. No, that's not it.
I hesitate slightly to ask this, but what goes with rubber?
Plant?
Glove. Glove compartment. Fox glove, glove puppet, and rubber glove.
Sweet, bro. Glove.
Okay, gal. Take another one of those large steps. Great. Next we've got cloth, high, tennis, and coffee.
Grinder. No, that only goes with coffee.
Instant. Instant high, instant coffee.
Instant tennis.
What about table? Coffee table, tablecloth, table tennis, and high table?
Is that like a high chair?
Not really. It's where the important people sit for dinner, isn't it? I bet Knightmare Castle had a high table once upon a time.
Yes, it certainly did, long ago.
Table.
Another big step down. Wonderful. This is the last one, just in case you weren't keeping track. We've got Indian, camp, holiday, and school.
It's table again.
What, like school table? I don't think you really got the idea of this, Eamon.
Well, you haven't got any either yet, Cole.
Maybe not, but I got this one. It's summer.
How appropriate. Summer school, summer camp.
Summer holiday and Indian summer. Go for it, gal.
Summer.
Big step again. Good, now shuffle forward a little.
You actually want me to shuffle? Get in.
Just a tiny bit, bro. That's enough. Now another big step.
Where am I?
You're in a dark blue room with a massive pit in front of you, and there's another one of those crying doors on the other side.
Try that calling again, you reckon?
I'll give it a go, bro. True and false, false and true. Open up and...
Let us through.
Let us through.
Abandon hope. There are black clouds ahead. I see evil portents. One bad turn leads to another. Tomorrow will be as bad as today.
Well, team, you obviously know the drill by now. This one, by the way, is called Dooreen.
Truth will out, and so will you. Cartimandua was queen of the Aztecs. True or false?
Cartimandua. She was some sort of historical queen, wasn't she?
But was she an Aztec? Does it sound like an Aztec name?
Well, what do Aztec names sound like?
Montezuma.
Team, I believe Cartimandua had something to do with Carticus, so that would make her a Celtic queen. Or Roman.
Are you sure, Gal?
70%.
Better go for it then. Say false.
False.
Truth accepted. The southern lights are called the Aurora Australis. True or false?
Eric, Eamon, Colin, does anyone know this?
Doesn't look like it, but let's think. The northern lights are called...
The Aurora Borealis.
What does Borealis actually mean?
I don't know.
Well, what she said sounded like Australia, didn't it? So it makes sense the Southern Lights would be called the Aurora Austra something or other.
I agree with Eamon, team.
Okay then, Gary, go for true.
True.
Truth accepted. Air is an abstract noun. True or false?
Well, an abstract noun is a noun you can't see, isn't it?
Who told you that?
Mrs. Bark.
That's right, she did.
But it's stuff like happiness and wisdom though, isn't it? Air isn't one of those things.
Eric, when Mrs. Bark asked us to give examples of abstract nouns, Chris Kendall said air and she said it was right.
Oh yeah, so she did.
Is this your English teacher, boys?
No, German.
I'm not sure about this, guys.
Mrs. Bark did say, mate.
Yeah, and we learnt Guten Tag from her too. I'm going to go for true.
Me too.
Me three. How not sure are you, Eric?
Oh, I don't know. Better go for true, Gary, if Mrs. Bark said it.
True.
Falsehood.
What?
She lied to us!
Well, there's a lesson here, boys. Never trust a teacher.
Well, how many did we need to get through?
Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. I told you to abandon hope. I told you I saw evil portents. The world grows colder. The very air will freeze. You will die, young human. All will die, soon enough if not today. My hinges turn to ice. I'll never open again. Never, never, never. Oh dear.
Ah, what a pity. Mrs. Bark should obviously stick to Guten Tag. It looks like Gary's assets have been well and truly frozen, boys, so now I'm afraid I'll have to foreclose on you all. Spellcasting. DISMISS. Goodbye, Gary, Eric, Eamon, and Colin. Your quest was long and perilous, and you didn't falter until the final hurdle. But I'm sure you'll think twice in future before placing your trust in a teacher. Back to Whitchurch with you then. Farewell. Well, passive ones, it's a funny old world, isn't it? A very strong team that had all but won was suddenly torn asunder by the folly of a German teacher, and now the dungeon is slowly but surely being overwhelmed by Aesandre's frost magic. It just goes to show you never know what's coming next.
Hello, Treguard.
Majida, what are you doing here?
Well, ever since you tell me Pickle decided to leave, I've been thinking you must have spare room. And now dungeon is frozen, I thought I'd better come and see. So, I guess Gary no win, huh?
No, he didn't quite make it. I'm sorry, are you saying you want to come and live here again?
Oh, well, if you're asking.
I wasn't really.
It's very cold in dungeon, you know. I not say my room here was ever warm, but it's warmer than dungeon now.
Yes, well, I'll see about getting a fire going for you.
So I can stay, yes?
Yes, for now. But as for you, passive ones, I'm afraid you can't stay any longer at present. If you're at all curious to learn what's going to happen next down in the dungeon, well, then you know what to do about it, don't you?